Now you'll give me host, right? Make me a co-host so I can present, or you'll do that?
Yes, yep. All you have to do is just click right on present. It'll let you present. Yep, you have that option right away.
Oh, okay.
Yes, let's see.
Shantina, you might have to show me that. I thought I had to be a co-host to present, but I don't, because I don't see it. So you may have to.
Okay, look at the bottom, or at the bottom of your screen, and you see
where
it
says my share screen.
Yes, that's it.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep. Yep, and so you already have permission. You sure do.
Okay.
All righty, so we are getting ready to get on. I used to wonder why people had 3 and 4 different screens, and now I see. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Right.
Let's see. Have you ever tried the Live Producer at all yet?
I don't know what that is.
Me either, but I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna play around with it, not right now, but I'm going to try it. Okay.
Right. So I need to know what that is, but
yeah, me too. Okay, so we're getting ready to go live.
Okay, just tag me.
All righty, so great day, great, fantastic, and amazing day, everyone. And welcome to My City, My Biz Live Magazine. That is a online portion of our City Expo that we do every single year. Matter of fact, we're coming up on our 11th year, and the company that hosted is SGGN Group, which is the Entrepreneur Society, and we are a business and lifestyle network group. That is correct, and we work with entrepreneurs on building them so that they could build themselves. So today we've decided to go ahead and feature an amazing young lady who has a great initiative, and that's what we do. We've heard our entrepreneurs. We see that there's a lot of pain and hurt going on. So guess what? We are going ahead and making sure that we utilize our platforms to be able to go ahead and give away all of the marketing and advertising this month to those emerging businesses. We want to make sure that the community still keep you at the top of their mind, and that is what we do, and that is what we are doing. And so I am super excited to introduce to you our guest for today that we are spotlighting, and that individual is Miss Emerald Mills of Diverse Dining. How are you today?
I'm doing really well. Good morning, everybody. Or afternoon. It's afternoon already.
It is, right? I'm like, oh my goodness. I mean, wow, it is. These days are just flying by and, really coming together. And so if you can tell us a little bit about Emerald Mills, we want to know who you are first.
Okay. So a little bit about me. I am a full-time entrepreneur. I also am a parent or a guardian of, I have a 9-year-old and a 16-year-old and an 18-year-old. What else about me? Those are the 2 most prominent things. I love to travel, so I love to even travel around my city and enjoy different things around the city. So quarantine is a little hard for me for that reason. And yeah, those are just some key parts of who I am. So
okay, wow, excellent. And so if you can tell us a little bit about Diverse Dining. First of all, where did that epiphany come from? Why did you start a company like Diverse Dining?
So it was really a combination of a number of things over time. I would say the initial somewhat of a concept and idea came years ago with one of my good friends. Her name is Heather. She actually lives in Philadelphia now. We met over 10 years ago, and she was what, and jokingly, but seriously, I call her my first white friend. So she was my first friend of another culture that I met since I had been in Milwaukee. And we had a genuine friendship. And so through our friendship, we began over time to connect. My circle began to connect with her circle.
Okay.
And we were able to talk about and deal with a lot of different things that come up a lot of times when you're blending races and cultures together. And so her and I years ago had began talking about just some kind of way we could bring people together. So it wasn't particularly diverse dining, but we talked about how we could have dialogue about race and relationships and things like that. She ended up moving. She got a good job in Philadelphia, moved and left me. And so I kind of put just even that idea on the shelf until more recently some things started coming up just before Trump's election and a lot of the race issues that started happening. You know, that started to happen, but we started to see more of them happening because of technology and stuff like that. And raising my family just kind of pushed me to say it's time to do it. My love for food and the fact that the most times I would see people of different cultures blending together was at restaurants, or in the same space was at restaurants, is how I kind of came up with the concept. And that and the public health disparities and so many other things was kind of the final pushing point for me to just get started.
Wow, that is so awesome. I know that I've definitely had the opportunity to just see you in action and to see how so many people, and when they come to your events, it's just normal for people of all cultures to come together and to really find that common thread more than so looking for what's different. And and so that I thought that was just so amazing. And so that's the reason why you are being featured on My City, My Biz. And
Thank you
because
so
we
much.
know that's right, we love to shine a light on amazing entrepreneurs that also has an initiative and a movement behind them. And you are moving, and we definitely support you. And we're looking forward to everything it is that you have that's coming up. So I am going to go ahead and allow for you to go ahead and take over the show. So go ahead and take it over.
Okay, thank you so much, Shantina. She has continually been a supporter, and I really do appreciate the opportunity to share with you guys on this platform. I am going to, one of the ways we keep people engaged is have a nice designated amount of time where people can share and talk with each other. So we are going to have a talking segment at the end where we'll just, I'll throw out some few questions and try to be able to go back and forth so I can look at what you're saying and we can have some engagement. I also threw in a few questions throughout my presentation, and I will give out some cool prizes to people who answer the questions first throughout the presentation, so stay engaged. A couple of the prizes I will share is we have a gift card to one of our partner restaurants, Orinda Cafe. I do believe that they're open during quarantine. It's a $25 gift card. I'm sorry, a $20 gift certificate that you can use when they open back up and go and sit in there. But please continue to support them and take time and help all of our local small restaurants while you have an opportunity, while they're still open. I know I can shout out all of them. I hope I don't miss many, but the Tandem, I believe, has some things going on to stop by there. Oh Lord, I'm forgetting already. I should have had a list. I do have a list somewhere, so I will reference it. But please stop by our partner restaurants, the Tandem, just any of the restaurants that are open. I'll go over a list a little later on because otherwise I will forget people and then I won't feel good about that. The second prize that we'll give away, and this is first for some people seeing it, is a diverse dining, a wine tumbler for all your summer backyard events, because we don't know how long we're going to be quarantined. But just in case, you can, drink a little wine in your backyard and not spill it all over yourself. These are not on our website yet, but they will be soon. And then another prize that we'll be giving away is a diverse dining t-shirt to a person who answers the question first. And of course, the diverse dining gift card. So you get an opportunity to come to one of our events on us later on. And we are in the process of shifting our platform a little bit to offer some virtual events, which I can talk a little bit more about later on. but you can use that gift certificate for that or for one of our face-to-face events whenever we get an opportunity to do that again. So I'm going to shift over my screen so you can see my PowerPoint. Today we are talking specifically about redefining, let me get it up. Talking about redefining the family table. And so give me just a minute. I had everything up and going, but you know how technology works. It just, need one quick second, guys. So I guess what I'll do right now, and you can skip this question when it comes up, since I'm waiting to open up my screen, I'm gonna throw out the first question and let you guys answer in comments while we're waiting. The first question is gonna be, what is your most memorable childhood dining experience or memory? So the first one to answer will be the winner of our first prize. Let me know what your answer is. What is the most memorable childhood mealtime memory? So I'm gonna give you guys a minute for that while we get our lives together over here. I literally had everything up and open. Favorite childhood mealtime memory in the comments, our winner will be. So make sure that you go ahead and answer that question. All right, we almost there, guys. Building anticipation. Answer the question while you wait. And all the prizes are announced at the end, so if you don't stay on, you can't win. Those are the rules to it. This would have been a really good time if I had had my thing going. And I'm on the live, honey. Y'all see Hannah? She's on live, on Facebook Live. All right, I'm sharing my screen. Okay. So I know you guys can relate, but while we at home, we being a parent and doing everything else that we need to do at the same time. So let me know if you can see my screen. Okay, guys, I think we're there. All right, so I'm talking this afternoon about redefining the family table. I asked the question already if you could define one of your favorite family memories, because I believe that for most of us, we have significant memories, or we have some kind of memories about what the family table meant to us as we grew up. I think that has changed gradually over time, but I know that most people can probably think of something significant that happened, even if it was one time a year around the table. And so we'll come back to that question that I asked. My name is Emerald Mills, and what we'll talk about, as we shared before, what we'll talk about through this presentation is just the history and relevance of the family table or the dinner table, the power of the table. So what opportunities the table brings when you get an opportunity to dine around the table. And then I'll share with you guys some table manner tips or some ways to help build engagement, greater engagement with your family members, friends, or even yourself as you sit around your table. We talked about diverse dining a little bit, and so I won't go into that much. But we have been to almost 20 restaurants around the city. A variety of restaurants you see there. Screaming Tuna, 88.9 has been a great host. That was La Casa, which is inside of UCC. So we go around to the neighborhoods to help get people out of their comfort zone into different neighborhoods, and also to bring dollars into those restaurants, and which we do through building the awareness, and also by purchasing food and eating a meal at those places. We've been doing that for, like I said, 2 years strong now, and we're gonna keep on doing it. We're gonna do it virtually, and we're gonna keep doing it once we're able to do it again in person. One of the philosophies or things that I constantly like to say, and one of the things that I believe and why I started Diverse Dining, is that relationships matter, and that real change does not happen or take place outside of the contents of relationships. And that just simply means, we care more about things when we care about the people, or when we can identify with a particular person or individual that is related to whatever the cause is that we care about. And so I really believe that in order for us to properly address some of the equitable disparities that we have, and the inequity that we have in our city, is it's going to take relationship. It's going to take people being able to break different barriers and form relationships with people that they typically would not, so that they can better understand them and better advocate for them. So I talked about the first question. I'm gonna skip past that, but I will come back to that and announce our winner towards the end of this presentation. I'm gonna go over really quickly just a little bit of history about mealtime in America. We know mealtime, well, maybe we don't know, but mealtime in America got really popular around the 18th century. And it was really the time where America began to promote people sharing a meal and reconnecting with each other through that meal in the 18th century. And it happened because of a number of different things, but prior to the 18th century, it wasn't really that big in America. I pick a shift because prior to the 18th century, households had to eat in shifts. Meaning they had to set up tables in halls or in offices outside, in the hall or outside, as the other family members worked. Then when it was time for one family member to take a break, the other members could keep working, and they worked in the shift. So it got popular here a little bit after that. And then the last fact about history in mealtime history in America is that our communal meal used to be lunchtime and not dinner time. And it was also the largest meal. So dinner time has become the largest meal since the Industrial Revolution, and since families, a lot more families started to go to work in a more factory type setting, then, they no longer could eat at lunch. So dinner became more popular as the community meal at that time. So what has happened? What has happened to our mealtime? One of the things I will say is that, we still do love to eat, and we still do make a point to eat, and sometimes together. So we are doing that great. But over time, I believe through overcrowded schedules and busyness, we have stopped gathering as much, especially as a family. One of the things I have under that is it talks about emotional conflict, because in one of the articles that I was reading, it talked about how it's not even just the busyness that affects us getting together, but the emotional conflict that we face while we're thinking about our busy schedule. So just sometimes we overestimate how busy we really are, or we feel overwhelmed by all we have to do, and how that affects our being able to spend time together, or being able to plan properly as well. I know for me, and I joke, but it took me a good week to even, fully be affected by the quarantine. I found a way to still run around a little bit, but even with all of the time I had sitting down, sometimes in your mind, you still can be busy, and you still cannot be as productive and effective as you want to be. And so that is one of the things that I think affects us being able to make a priority and make the time gathering around the table as family. The second thing is technology. And one of the, some of the data that I read talked about how 1/3 of our children spend their meal times distracted by technology. So kids are bringing their phones to the table and not really engaging with people around the table, but using that as a distraction to be more in tune with that instead of their family members. And then I also put, modern day women and the modern day woman. So 15, the women workforce has increased from 15% to 71% from 1890 to 1985. I do believe that women are changing that and starting to come back home and find more innovative ways to do their work. But for a long period of time, there was a very big surge in women going to work, which meant there was less time at home and there was less time to prepare meals and do the things that were important for us to do around the table. So question number 2, good break in there. Name 3 shows or movies that put an emphasis on the family table growing up. So 3 childhood movies or shows that put an emphasis on dinner around the table or some kind of table meal as you grew up. Y'all got that? Because I'm moving on. All right, so what's on the table? I put that it's more than food at stake. One of the things I love a lot about Diverse Dining is I get to take food words and I get to make my point. So you see steak in there. I do know how to spell, but I was being funny. So y'all laugh, take a break and laugh. But what's on the table? So less than 50% of children ages 9 to 14 eat their dinner with families currently. And you heard the other statistic that I said. Also, there's been a 1/3 decrease in regular family meals over the last 25 years. So it's slowly declining for us to just spend time together. Now I just want to talk about the power of the table, because some people by now may be saying, well, who cares? And why is it important at all for us to be around the table? Or why should I care that I'm not spending that meal time with my family, or that I wasn't prior to now spending that meal time with my family? So some of the benefits of us being able to dine together is that you teach, I call them table manners, but you teach kids manners by the way they, and my friend Dana World Patterson, I don't know if she's on here, but she would love a lot about learning how to set your table. Also, being patient, learning to pass the bowl, wait till everybody else can get some, blessing your food or saying a grace before you eat. You're learning different dynamics just through that meal on how to be respectful and how to be, polite, how to be learning patience, learning grace, learning a lot of different things just by sitting at the table. Improve physical health. And I know an expert could come on here and talk about how prepared meals are more healthier than going out to eat, but also just how that just eating your portion size, you're talking, there's a lot of different benefits that could improve our health by eating around the table and by having that dinner time together. The next point I have is increased savings. So you get to save some money when you are sharing a meal. Even if you're going out to eat and sharing a meal, if you are putting it together, it's less expensive than everybody and just ordering individual meals on their own. So there's increased savings that comes along with you being able to eat together. That's just a quote: family that eat together, stay together. And I'm gonna talk about some more additional benefits. So your children get to learn about a more diverse palate. They get to learn about food from other cultures, and you can make it a whole lesson in helping them to be able to learn about those cultures and what they're doing. You also can use it to promote language and social skills. So if you're eating different food, use the language of the food. Don't just call something Chinese food, but learn a language of the different things that you're eating and where it came from. And then also you're still improving your social skills by being able to talk and have dialogue at the table while doing those things. The last thing is improve mental health. And I will make sure I send you guys the reference, but I was reading about a practice, I think it was in Philadelphia, where they prescribe family mealtime to children who are going through therapy. So there are proven mental health benefits of people sitting around the table with their family. And I can think just myself on a number of reasons why people would benefit a lot from that time and that experience. So I'm gonna go right into some table manner tips, some ways that we can make being around the table fun. I know that, if we have been busy and we've gotten out of the routine of sitting together and having dinner together, then it can be difficult to figure out, like, what do we do? Like, do I take my kid's cell phone? How do I make this time engaging? Because everybody just wants to go do whatever they want to do. So these are some tips to kind of help you build some more engagement with your families around the table. So tip number 1 is set your table again. Make it cute and sacred. If you keep your table set, and if you keep it set when you're not even at the table, it really gives the space a welcoming type environment, and it makes people look forward to wanting to go and sit there. So I also say before, I end up getting my sister's kids, my table became a place where my paperwork and my mail went. Clean your tables off. Get a tablecloth. We don't have much else to do. Set your little place setting, and make your table cute and sacred. For those of you who have families, and even if you don't have families that you live with, you can schedule a regular meal time. So that helps us with overeating, and it also will help us with, again, setting that expectation and that expectancy for our family members to want to engage or have something to look forward to. For people who haven't been in the practice of doing this, I recommend that you start with a few times a week, even one day a week. If you even start and tell your family you're going to eat together on Sunday. And so, it get them the rest of the week to get all of their technology time out, their attitudes out, whatever it needs to do. But then they know that one day a week they need to dedicate, and then you can gradually increase your times, over time. But start, with a few times a week. Don't just tell your kids now that you're quarantined, they got to sit down with you and eat every day when you never did it before. It's going to, probably not go too well. The next step I'll say is incorporate family in mealtime decisions. So ask family to have an active role in preparation and an active role in figuring out, and preparing the table for when you sit down. So they could, or blessing the food or whatever it may be, but get them involved. Don't just make it be laborious where they're just sitting there trying to wait for the time to be up, but let them be involved. And then a few more tips, plan ahead. I also put in here meal plan like an event. So put the same thought into your meal planning at home as you would an event that you're planning. And this is something that I'm constantly, working on. But the more you plan, the less time you got to spend at the grocery store, the more you can make use of the items that you have in your refrigerator, and the more you enjoy the experience. So make meal planning like an event that you would plan, and think through it and figure out the best way to optimize your meals throughout the week. I also make it a date, make it intimate and fun. Me and my boyfriend actually are supposed to have a date later, maybe a picnic or something, I don't know, but make it a date, make it fun. And again, even if you're single or you're by yourself, make it a date for you. Make it a time for you to sit at the table with yourself and spend some time with yourself. Make it something that you look forward to. Light yourself a candle at the table, or, have some really cute place settings for you, and just show up for yourself during that time. And then the last thing I have is eliminate distractions. So ask your family, and also lead by example, to put their cell phones away during dinner time and put your laptop away. Whatever it is that you got to do, those few minutes away from it are not going to hurt. So set that time aside, and that's another way to keep it sacred. So let's sit down. This is where I'm shifting it over, and I'm going to utilize my phone. I just wanted to give some quick tips and thoughts, but I'm going to go into some more discussion. And so I'm going to pull up my phone to see what you guys are saying, so we can kind of have a dialogue here. And I'm just going to go into the questions. So they'll stay up on the screen, and I'll look back and forth in my phone and try to make this as engaging as possible. Thank you all for your patience with me and technology, because I would much rather be sitting down on the couch and having this conversation, but we're gonna work through it. So my next question my first question during this time is, has your family mealtime changed since quarantine? Yes or no? And if so, how? I'm going to look and see if I can see what people are saying so I can talk. I see a lot of comments, but I don't see any questions answered. I'm gonna get to y'all comments, but I don't see any responses to that first question. So can anybody comment on how your family mealtime has changed since the quarantine has begun? Shantina, I'm gonna depend on you to help me out here because I don't see any comments. The second question, we can go right into it. Who participates in meal prep and service in your home? So do you already incorporate your kids and family in your meal prepping and the service of your meal at home, or are you doing it alone? And then the next question is, have you become more appreciative for the meals and family since this time? So do you feel like your gratitude is increasing around being able to spend this time together, or are you, trying to escape out the back door? And then what is noticeable about your grocery store experience? I got some stuff to share about that, but what are you noticing when you go to the grocery store now? What's noticeable about the experience? What are some things that stand out to you, or how do you feel when you go to the grocery store? And then the last one is, who is your special guest? Who is a special guest that you would invite to your dinner table? Now, this is particularly for people who've been following the quarantine rules. So if you've been sneaking Big Mama in and, all kind of other people in, your friends and your family members, you might not have no special guests because everybody already sitting at your table. They might be at your table now while you watch this presentation and supposed to be at home. But if you haven't followed quarantine, who would you invite to your table now and why? And if you've been cheating, no judgment. It's not my business. But who else? Like, who maybe you don't have access to, a special guest, celebrity. Who would you invite to your table right now and why? Y'all keep it PG too. Okay, I see some feedback. Clarine said the quarantine has not impacted her mealtime, that they always prioritize having mealtime together. That's awesome. That's awesome, Clarine. Hey, Clarine. And then Dion Barnes said that she's cooking more and that they are spending more time together during prep time and that she's enjoying her additional time. Awesome. Thank you guys for talking back to me. I appreciate it. I'll hang on for a little more comments. That is pretty much the wrap up of my presentation. I wanted to have some dialogue, but it's maybe a little bit of a delay or whatever with my presentation, so I can't see what you guys are saying. So I'm going to go back and announce the winners. If more comments come up while I'm on, I will, I will respond to your comments or talk about your comments. I see Dion won. She talked about the Waltons. Okay, no, let me go back. So question number 1, Andre Turner won. So you won our first prize, Andre, the gift card to the Renda Cafe. So I'm going to put up in a second a link, and you can go fill that information out and add your address, your physical address on there that you want me to have this sent to, and I will get this out to you in the mail. Congratulations, Andre Turner. Thank you for participating. Hopefully Shantina, you can verify that he's still on the line, and our winner for that portion. And then our second winner who won our fancy cup for the backyard party, Dion Barnes. She answered to question number 2, her 3 favorite shows, or 3 shows that talked about mealtime. I think, wait a minute. Andre making all the win. Okay, Andre, we're not gonna let you win twice. He answered 2 though. Congratulations, Andy Griffin, Good Times, and the Brady Bunch. Andre must be competitive. Good job, Andre. Dion, we're gonna let you win the prize, the Waltons, Little House on the Prairie, which I loved, and Big Valley. And then I'm gonna go over one more question for our third prize, and then whoever answer. Clarine, you can be the third winner for our diverse dining since you commented on the other question outside of Dion. And then we got one more winner. So hopefully people are paying attention. I'm going to go to our last question. And this is a simple and easy one. And whoever wins will win the last prize. So question 3, cook food or takeout? Cooked food or takeout? What's your preference? What's your nature? What do you do? Cook food or takeout? So the first person to answer the question, that question will win our third prize, which is the Diverse Dining t-shirt. Send me your size when you send me the information. And now I'm gonna put up the slide that has the information where you need to register to get the prize. About Diverse Dining, we're everywhere, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram for Diverse Dining. But to fill out the form, if you go to this bit.ly, bit.ly/4diverse dining, you can fill out the information there. If you also are interested in maybe our virtual experience, one of our next experiences, you can also fill out that information there. My contact number by phone and my email address is all available. And my girlfriend, Andrea, she's saying hi to y'all. So that's the information about how to get in contact. I'll put that back up at the end. I'm going to see where Shantina is. And congratulations to Cara for your t-shirt. Make sure you send me your size. She said cook food. And I'm going to go back to other questions, and then hopefully Shantina's coming back in and we can wrap up. Thank you guys for your time. Hopefully you enjoyed it and you have some motivation to get engaged and around the table. I will say too, to people who are single again, because I feel like I have to talk to the singles, is you can get your laptop. This is a permission time to get your laptop and maybe share a meal virtually with somebody that you love. Talk and share a meal. And we will also have some opportunities for you to do that if you would like to do it with us. So again, thank you everybody for watching.
All right. Wow. Let's go ahead. Amazing, amazing information you share with us. Very interactive. Great, great, great. Can you hear me okay?
I can.
Okay. Let me go ahead and get this. Hold on one second.
Okay.
Let's see. Do you know how to take your presentation off at all?
Yep. Let me stop my share screen.
Okay. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
There
Okay, excellent. And so definitely, so I just thank you so very much, Irma, for Diverse Dining. And so let's go ahead. Are you able to see all the comments and everything?
I was looking at some. I don't know what I might admit what I missed.
Okay, no.
Oh yeah, I got a couple comments, but yes, thank you. Okay. I think I have a little bit of a delay, but yeah.
Okay,
I think I got all the winners.
Okay, excellent. You know what? And Alzada Downs, I don't know if she was still on, but first she was right in there with Andre.
Oh, okay.
So that was great that you went on, and you and Andre, he lives in Atlanta, so he said unfortunately he's gonna have to give that off to someone else. So I don't know if there's another gift or anything.
Okay, yeah, I can send him one of these if he prefers a wine tumbler. Yeah, so I can send him. I'll send him that.
Okay,
and I'm sure probably one of the winners will maybe want the restaurant, want to eat the food, but we'll figure
it out. That's right. Sure enough. Okay, yeah. Okay, excellent. But yes, but great job. And so
thank you.
Definitely, you are so very welcome, and you've given us some great things to go off of, all the way from a single life, to being able to dine with our families. The dynamics of dining truly has changed. And so I believe also that has left us where we have a disconnect when it comes to communicating and with really being able to show that whole family unit. And so that leaves our family, our loved ones, going out looking for other ways to be able to bring that whole feeling of family back. And so I just appreciate you so much for coming on here.
Thank you. I'm hoping that we leave this experience being more mindful, and getting our community back together and being more intentional about ways that we build when we have the freedom and the opportunity. And I also really want to, shameless plug, but not really, when we start our virtual Diverse Diners, which will be later on within the next 2 weeks, we will be partnering with restaurants who will deliver food to people's house, and we will have a virtual dining experience, or they will get a video of a chef that will help them cook the meal in their kitchen. So please, if you're interested, if you're interested, fill out that form with the link, and I'll put it in the comments as well, so that you can be registered, because we will have a limited amount of people because the delivery drivers and things like that.
Yeah.
So just keep in mind that we're working on something special for the restaurants and for you.
I love it. You know what? And maybe like you were saying with the demand, maybe they can go through like Grubhub or someplace like that that
Mhm.
can, you tell everyone the name of the restaurant and that actually, however, but I believe that there is so many ways. That is awesome. I am so glad to hear that.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be, I'm trying to think. Okay, yeah, because you know what? I could just see it just even being available for other states and
Mhm.
where if there are other similar, say for instance, you're doing
Mhm.
Italian night, right? And
Mhm.
there could be an Italian restaurant that you partner with in other states and things like that. So
Shantina, you on my list for me to call. I'm so glad you called me for this, but I was like, I need to talk to Shantina because I already know how you are with the ideas, and I
wow,
definitely would love to help and to talk more. So
most
we'll make sure we do
definitely.
that.
Right. Wow. Well, that is a blessing. And that's what we're doing. We're showing people that are really pivoting during this time and they're not just sitting down. I know that there's a lot of people that's sitting on the couch right now, Emerald, and they're scratching their head and they're not really know exactly which direction to go. And you're taking this thing and seeing how is it that you can be able to go ahead and still offer that same experience virtually. And
Yeah.
because we have to understand that things are not going to ever go back to the way you and I remembered a month
Yeah.
ago or 3
Yeah.
weeks ago, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah, and to be honest, I mean, out of respect to every, other people, like I understand because it definitely, I mean, we almost a month in here, and it took me by surprise, as I think it did everybody. I prefer face to face. Like I had
me
to
too.
hype myself up to like, okay, Amber, you're gonna have to start getting comfortable and being okay with the virtual platform because that's just where we're at. I
Mhm.
prefer, sitting next. I'm a hugger,
Yeah.
so I miss all of that. And then also like, it just was a lot. It's like, what's going on? The information is always changing. It's
Hmm.
always new every day. So it's like I can pivot, but then like they can shut down the whole world. So how do
Right.
I create something that's gonna, go past that?
That's right.
So it is a lot, but I do believe that we can get through it, and I do believe
Yes.
that we just, we got to just keep moving, doing what we can.
That's right. Wow. Well, that is so awesome. I just thank you so very much for lending your gifts and your talents to the world and for being able to go ahead and just even just spike the whole spirit of being able to bring the families around the table, but then also now individuals and different cultures and
Mhm.
being able to help those restaurant owners first and foremost. You've been able to see the impact that you've even had with them. So you are touching many, many lives across. And so our whole mission with My City, My Biz is to revive the economy in our communities, one entrepreneur at a time. We've been doing it for going on 11 years. And it's because of people like yourself that is selfless and it goes into, those communities, but also brings it back to what your passion and your purpose is. So thank you
Thank
once
you.
again, Emerald
Thank
Mills.
you. And guys,
Yeah,
I'm gonna drop all of the restaurants in the comments so you can continue
yes.
to support them because my
Awesome.
memory is improving every day, but I cannot list everybody's name off. So those that are open, I will try to list all of their names in the comments so you can continue to support them during this time. Please continue to support us during this time, and thank you for tuning in. Hopefully it was a good lunch hour for you.
All right, wonderful. Well, thank you so much. This is
Bye
Emerald
bye.
Mills of Diverse Dining. So make sure
Thank
that you
you.
do stay in touch with her because she got some amazing things coming up, everyone. So chat with you later. Have a great one.
Bye.
All right. And everyone, remember to always, always remember to stop pressing the snooze buttons on your dreams. And so this is My City, My Biz live magazine. And you can find us here every Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, where we'll be featuring some amazing entrepreneurs, as well as we are going to have some highlights of some entrepreneurs that has items to share and sell. And so if you are an entrepreneur that needs that exposure, we're doing it free for you every single Monday through Friday, as well as we have some weekend slots that are available. But we definitely look forward to making sure that you do not press that snooze button, everyone. This is definitely the time to be able to reinvent and recreate your business, your life, your dreams, and because you matter. So have a great one, everyone. Take care and take charge.